Yo, what's going on, everybody? We are live, Wrestle Purist live, hosted by myself, Ibu of Wrestle Purist. And today we are joined by Rob of Unpurist as well. Today we got quite a lot to get into. As always, we've got WWE Raw, NXT, the new NXT deal. We're going to preview Dynamite and other little bits and pieces along the way. First things first, please like, subscribe, send any super chats with any questions, any takes, anything like that. Turn on the post notifications. Hope everybody is doing well. Starting with my fellow co-host, Rob. Happy you're joining us today. How's it going?
I'm going great. Was sitting here and decided, I was like, yo, NXT was really good today, last night, but I really feel like talking about it. I don't know where to talk about it. And I remember y'all do a show like every Wednesday about it. And I'm like, oh, I'll just hop on the show and talk NXT. You know, Akira Tozawa did really well Monday and Tuesday, so I'm very, very excited to talk about that. So
Yeah, man, there's some nice bits of wrestling on NXT. It wasn't like the most eventful show, you know. It was kind of eventful. You still got some of the NXT drama on it, but there was some decent wrestling on NXT last night. We'll get into it shortly.
I gotta say, off rip, I prefer when this show isn't super eventful because Shawn Michaels' idea of eventful is like absolute cocaine, fucking balls to the wall insanity. And his version of insanity like gives me a fucking migraine. It's like it is just like it's disorienting, it's chaotic. There's a lot of bad acting. There's a lot of
it's quote unquote fun,
Yeah. So
some of it's not very fun at all, It's
just give me some matches.
It's cartoonish, to a degree.
Just give me some good matches.
I still be capping on the timeline, even when it's bad.
Just give me. It's weird because like Halloween Havoc night one was like it wasn't good, but like it's I don't know how to explain it. Like night one of Halloween Havoc was just psychotic. I would never recommend it to a wrestling fan that does not watch NXT at all. but like Becky had a nice main event, and it was an interestingly put together show.
A lot of them are. It's just that it's somewhat enjoyable. And the people who are really into it, it gives them reason to stay into it, blah blah blah. So
if you get
like Rob here.
Rob here,
they develop some strong soldiers,
yes, they do. I'll talk about this when we get to NXT, but like, I tweeted about how like, man, if it was up to me, I'd get rid of the skits and pre-tapes. And people, my comments are like, nah, man, that's what we love NXT for. And I'm like, damn, all right, I guess y'all love these. I love these pre-tapes and skits. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, man, they're very hit and miss, but I don't think they'll ever defeat the peaks that they reach with Santos Escobar and Tony D'Angelo. But
Tony D is real music. He's real music.
Yo, that sit down is like
on the yacht.
Yo, that's one of the best
but yeah, man, we'll probably be getting a lot more stuff like that, skits and whatnot. But let's talk about this NXT deal because that's obviously quite huge news that's came out over the past day or so. It came out yesterday. So
also, guys, like the video and subscribe. We're 5 subscribers away from 4,000. Big milestone for us. Like let's get that going. If you're not subscribed to the channel but you watch your videos, subscribe to the channel.
Got 100 people in here. There should be at least 50.
And when you guys get some time, if you missed our interview with Rocky Romero on Monday, we had a great episode of Wrestle Purist Worldwide where we interviewed Rocky Romero, and he was very, very open and honest about the state of affairs when it comes to him handling the relationship between CMLL and AEW and New Japan and AEW. So if you want a lot of insight as to how that works and where that's going to go in the future, as well as the status of Mercedes Moné, check that out if you haven't. It's a great interview, and we did a great show on that episode. We have a great show for you guys today. Going to talk about some NXT, going to talk about some Monday Night Raw. We are going to preview AEW Dynamite, and we're going to get into the latest news regarding NXT's TV deal, some of the insanity happening in MLW, and maybe a little bit of Sugiban, our favorite promotion.
Yeah, speak for yourself. Yeah, the big story, of course, over the past day has been the NXT new TV deal. They are moving away from the USA Network as part of a 5-year deal with the CW Network, which will be starting in October 24. Right, let's go through some bullet points. It was noted during the TKO Group Holdings call yesterday that it was a 70% increase in rights fees on the previous deal. PW Insider added that according to one insider source, the deal was worth in the area of $35 to $37 million per year. Although that number hasn't been completely confirmed, the belief in WWE that the last deal was worth $50 million a year from NBC. The belief is that it will still be on Tuesday nights, and WWE would be open to running tapings elsewhere outside of the Performance Center or even touring if the financials made sense. Of course, with it being a CW network, there's a bunch of NWA stuff as well that comes with it. But we'll get into that after those first few bullet points. But yeah, Ibu,
Yeah.
I'm British. I live in
Yes.
England. This means absolutely nothing to me in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, I'll be able to cut through the weeds on this one for you.
Yeah, man. So what's it mean for my friends over in the US? This CW
All
network
right.
deal.
So I'm going to
What's the
give you my
difference?
brother's analysis first before I give you mine. Because when this first came out, I had no real take because I don't really give a shit. I in the Russell Pierce group chat, I said this months ago when we were talking about AEW. I was like, the least interesting topic in all wrestling to me is television rights negotiations and rights negotiations fees. This doesn't mean I don't understand how this works. I just don't care. It means nothing to me. Now with that said, so yeah, the news drops and I'm like, okay. And then my brother, I was like, what do you think, man? And he was like, CW, no aura. And I just started laughing hysterically. CW, here's the thing about it. Monty, they're on like their national like network, the way like Fox and NBC are. So in theory, they're in more homes. And so like the upside here is that the best case scenario is NXT now can maybe do like $1 million a week, a best case scenario, right? The thing is, they're not necessarily a prestige network anymore. People are debating as to whether they're going to perform better on USA or CW. And the reason why this discrepancy is happening is because currently, Monty, USA is actually like high, on the rankings of top networks in America. USA is higher than CW, despite only being on cable. But the reason that's the case, Monty, is because CW doesn't like have like consistent live sports or just premium content that drives people to watch their network. You know what I'm saying? So it's like even Dave Meltzer pointed this out to Brandon Thurston because Thurston pointed out the average viewership of CW shows on the network in general versus USA, and USA's is a bit higher. But that's because they're counting like Monday Night Raw and NXT for USA, whereas CW, their biggest draw in recent years, Monty, were like those corny superhero shows that they used to air, like Flash and Arrow and things like that. And like they don't do those shows anymore. So realistically, they don't have any premium marquee like live content that drives people to the channel. So with that said, they got a big increase on rights fees. I want to say it's like upwards of 70%. So they're getting paid a shitload of money to just continue running their developmental, which I mean, no matter how you slice it, that's a business positive, right?
Yeah.
Regarding like the visibility of the network, it's yet to be seen. Because again, it's like if people want to point to how CW performs versus USA Network, it's slightly disingenuous because of the context that I just provided. And so again, like I said, the upside is NXT's on national TV now. It technically will have more exposure than Raw and SmackDown. So like best case scenario, like this shit's doing like I don't know, like a 1.1 million, 1.2 or something like that. But it really depends. You have to establish the viewing habit, and you're gonna have to market the fucking shit out of this, and really like kind of get the viewers' brains wired. Like on that day, we're gonna have to switch to CW, a channel that everybody has, but nobody goes on, because nothing's on it. So we shall see. The premiere will probably do really well, and we'll see how it goes from there. The ratings floor may be higher, but again, we shall see. I don't think this is a negative overall. My thing is just in terms of, again, for ratings upside, I think it's yet to be seen how much of a net positive it is, or if it's just going to end up a neutral thing just based off, like, again, CW just not having no clout despite being on national TV. But again, WWE sees this as a giant W because they just got paid mad money for a show that like doesn't cost that much to produce. Because NXT is not costly to produce in a performance center.
Absolutely not. That's kind of always been, well, not always, but that's been my kind of thinking towards it for WWE. Of course, it's a positive because it's just that in their eyes, they can easily say, it's just our developmental show that we send some main roster stars to sometimes, so cost effectiveness. We all know the PC talent aren't making millions of dollars a year, Then, of course, they run it from the performance center, which, they own. So that's not costing them to travel and all that sort of stuff. I know it says in one of the reports that they'd be open to traveling the show, but it has to make financial sense. So, them getting, 35 million, 40 million, whatever it may be a year for it is absolutely a plus. A 5-year deal as well. That's a real commitment from the CW network. So, yeah, man. Rob, what do you think?
We are so back. We're so back. I told everybody, niggas started laughing, making a ha NXT failed jokes. And guess what? NXT is now getting paid more than your favorite wrestling show. I know it's unfortunate to hear. I know it's sad to hear, but you had to hear it. Listen, NXT being on the CW network is so good for them because, first of all, I don't think they should do like they did in 2019, which was, the first episode of them being on USA, they brought like Finn Balor, one of the big main stars, down from Monday Night Raw. I don't feel like they should do that. I feel like they should stick with what they have because what they have seems like it's working. Because remember, the first
long time to see. October 2024, it could be a very different NXT, in terms of talent that are still there.
Yeah, that's the thing.
What they're doing right now. Carry on anyway. But what they're doing right now, of course, it's working.
Yeah, like the first episode after, like I think it was after the war, or either like Becky wasn't on the episode. They still almost did 800,000. So it's like, and now with the CW, is like it's very easy to get the CW. People are making it seem like they're saying it's closed off. No, it's not. All you have to do is go to your antenna, hit scan, and it's right there. So this is really big for NXT, and where NXT is so back. NXT is so back.
I want to point out, Monty.
Go on, you Bill.
My brother, once again, he talks about how CW doesn't have aura. You know what channel did have aura, Monty?
What channel had aura?
UPN.
UPN?
CW is Isn't it used to be UPN?
It used to be UPN.
Isn't it basically UPN?
And Monty, I can tell you this as a boy growing up on like late 90s and then just 2000s, television. UPN, Monty, was the black sitcom channel. That's basically what UPN was. UPN was the channel for black
show.
So here's the thing. This is really why there's so many, as AO would call them, like black Fed Twitter or black drones. Really, here's the pipeline. SmackDown was on UPN. It's the black channel with all the fucking black sitcoms. And then minorities who, some of them just frankly, like, I can just speak for myself. Like my family didn't there'd be times where we just didn't have cable, right? But like minority families are watching the show on free television, right? Or national television. You could just get an antenna and watch it, right? And SmackDown is on, and Eddie Guerrero's in the Lowrider, and he had all these other, all these pushed Mexican characters, and there's this hip hop influences on the show. Fucking John Cena's playing Eminem on TV.
Fucking 3-6 Mafia playing Mark Henry to the ring. 3-6 Mafia is
playing Mark Henry to the ring and shit. Jagged Edge is performing. Teddy Long was like a central character on these shows. There's a 100% pipeline there, which is what makes it funny, because at least just from my curated timeline, the black Fed stands, it seems like NXT is their favorite show.
Yeah.
For various reasons. A lot of brothers on the show, a lot of attractive women. And it going to the former UPN is just funny in the spiritual sense in that respect. So
go on, Rob.
It's interesting you bring up that pipeline, because if there's a screenshot, like a few screenshots somebody posted today, it also creates a big crossover opportunity for NXT. Now I know Braun Breaker will probably be gone by the time they're on the CW, but it's like you can have some of the top heels. They had Kane on this one show. I forgot what the show was called. Or they had Batista on another show, and then they had Cody doing Arrow back when Arrow was hot. 8, 9 years ago. And so it creates that crossover opportunity so you can get some of the top stars on NXT on like maybe like a Lola Vice, who will probably be at the top of NXT. In, like around this time next year, you could probably get her on one of the like little shitter shows they have on there that crosses 1 million views, because that's how they really used to do business on some of the like the sci-fi shows and cross 1 million, because you would see these fucking people everywhere. So
yeah, they'd be in those like crappy shows. Yeah, I
Yeah,
am.
it's always good when when a wrestling promotion gets a deal with a network that kind of integrates the promotion deeply into the network, which is what WWE have had with the USA Network for, I think it's 13 years, and next year that relationship, that business relationship's over. So it'll be interesting to see how the new homes of WWE programming will kind of integrate WWE into their overall, big picture programming and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe the CW network just needs a rebrand like TNA. Go back to UPN.
You being
You never
the
know.
feeling is the. I
And you
will say
mentioned, go on.
Raw got me sweating right now. They keep talking about streaming, bro. I'm not trying to.
nigga, I am not doing
I'm not about to down. I'm
Just
not
like that-
downloading no fucking app, nigga.
just like that one promotion, I'm not gonna talk about. I'm not going through jumping through 30 different hoops to try to watch wrestling, bro. I'm not doing it.
All these like blue check accounts are like a lot of movement on the streaming front with Amazon. I'm like, shut
Nigga,
the
no.
fuck off, you know? And a lot of movement on moving Raw possibly to a different day. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Why the fuck would I pay all that money to watch a football game on Amazon Prime just for a few cool graphics when I could turn on NBC on my antenna and pay nothing? Fuck out of here, bro.
I can't do it. I think that's a bad move, personally speaking. Listen. Plus, I'm old. I'm a creature of habit. Just keep it on USA. Just make the Nick Khan stop fucking. God, you know what I mean? Like, just re-up with USA Network and keep it fucking pushing, please. Can we just
Then it's moving off the USA Network, bro. I think they're going in for the NBA or something like that, apparently. So
Listen,
that's obviously going to affect their budget massively. If they're going to put in a serious bid for the NBA or the NFL or whatever it is. I know it's one of the big two though. So
could you imagine? Because I heard like some like WBD fucking whispers and shit, but it's all whispers from like second level sources, to be honest. But like, could you imagine some reality where fucking Raw landed on TNT?
not really.
It'd be funny.
Not unless AEW's maybe. I can't see any network having both.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I couldn't ever see whether it's Warner Brothers, whether it's USA, I couldn't see.
I can't
see
see. I really, at this point, half of my life, Raw has been on USA. I can't see Raw anywhere else, bro. Like, you gotta keep that though.
When I got into wrestling, fun fact, when I got into wrestling, it was during that very brief stretch in history where Raw was not on USA. It was on TNN. Fuck. It was on TNN, and then TNN turned into Spike TV. And then a couple of years later, they moved off Spike, and then that's when they're like, we still want wrestling, and they got TNA. So, yeah.
God bless TNA.
TNA on Spike, that's some real shit, bro. I can't lie.
But yeah, it seems like this news may or may not affect this reported NWA potential deal. Of course, we know that there's been a kind of shot themselves in the foot, with the cocaine spot at the last pay-per-view. Apparently, CW network executives, because CW apparently reportedly were interested in NWA. Apparently, they were not happy with the cocaine spot, unsurprisingly. And it seems like there's a bit of trouble in paradise for Billy Corgan after, it seemed like there was some promise of them actually getting a TV deal. But yeah, apparently, according to PW Insider, with the rumours making the rounds about an NWA series airing on CW, nobody from NWA or CW has at any point confirmed, even privately to PW Insider, that there was anything concrete to those stories. Those within the NWA circles were sharing with those in the company this evening that the WWE deal had zero bearing on any NWA conversations with CW. The general consensus of those working around the NWA was that there was a 12-episode reality series built around Billy Corgan running the NWA that was pitched to the CW network, as well as the potential of the NWA Power series being streamed on the app. Again, no one told PW Insider that that is accurate, just that today those in the company were told there were conversations between the two sides were not dead. Fightful Select reported that WWE do not expect a deal with the NWA to happen at this point with the CW network. Beyond that, one of the shows NWA was said to be pushing was a reality series of some sort. Of course, probably the series mentioned by PW Insider that I just mentioned. And Fightful Select also added that there is multiple potential suitors for WWE Raw, to kind of touch on what we were just talking about. So, yeah, it seems like NWA, it's they're not quite getting the deal, brother. You know, I know Nick Hausman's done some coverage as well. But yeah, it seems like after it seemed like they were getting some sort of, you know, light at the end of the tunnel, it seems like it's crumbling. What's going on?
What's going on is NWA's an unserious promotion, and serious promotions do unserious LOL TNA level things like this. You know, there's always that one promotion in North America that just like can't get out of their own way and shoots themselves in the foot and does stupid shit, and usually has a bad champion for most of the year. You know, and it's not TNA anymore. TNA is no longer laughably embarrassing and stupid.
Yeah.
You know, so who's taking the mantle? Well, Court Bauer and Billy Corgan are having a competition for that crown. You know, they're having a real competition.
Oh, there.
MLW is kind of bad, but Billy Corgan's is deeply embarrassing and a massive carny. And NWA is horrific. Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way. I don't know why you would do a cocaine spot on the air when you have a TV deal looming or possible. Why would you do that?
Nigga thought it was a concert.
Even on pay-per-view, bro, you can't even like. Yeah, it's pay-per-view, but like you said, with a TV deal looming, like,
bro,
you know,
the thing is,
you
Monty,
chill out.
doing shocking and edgy things on TV, like, if you're gonna do it, there has to be for a reason. The WWF did shocking and edgy things on television in '98 because it helped their business, and
it was '98.
Yeah, like ECW did that shit to distinguish themselves. You know, it's like, oh, you see that fucking cartoon shit on the WWF? Well, we have half nude women. You know, like, we bleed. What does NWA gain in 2023 from being like, we're doing coke on pay-per-view? like at most, you just get people laughing about it on Twitter for a day, which is what happened. People were just like, is that cocaine? What are they doing? What's going on over there? Like, what did you gain financially? You didn't sell an extra ticket to any of your upcoming shows because the former Sinister Minister James Mitchell was doing cocaine with you know, the locals there. I don't get it.
When has James Mitchell's thing ever even been doing coke on screen anyway?
He's never done it on screen. I repeat, on screen.
On screen.
It's like, what do you gain? Like, what? It's like, the last person in wrestling to get money from doing cocaine on screen was New Jack in his shoot interview. You know, so like, he did a shoot once, and they were like, "Do you do coke?" And he was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Can you do it now?" And he's like,
"I used to do it every time before every match."
No, Rob, it was crazy. He was like, "I'll do anything to pay me on screen." And then the guy just like handed him a couple $100, and he just started like fucking.
Bro, he told the story. He told Paul Lee one night. Paul Lee was trying to like pay him less than $100 for him to do a big dive. He was like, "No, I'm not doing it." And he said, and Paulie was like, "All right, I'll give you like $2,000." And then he was like, "All right, bet." And he was like, "I did some coke, and I went up there and jumped."
He did not get those $2,000. But nonetheless, NWA, they shot themselves in the foot. It's deeply embarrassing and very funny at the same time. Talent are mad at Billy Corgan because, of course, they're going to be mad at Billy Corgan for this. What an insane fumble. And you know, I know people say like it's wrong to root for the demise of a wrestling company because you're putting people out of work and that's bad for the industry. But I think, quite frankly, right now, Monty, where I'm at with it, let's strengthen the number 3 company in TNA. So you know, if NWA and MLW kind of crumble, I wouldn't feel bad because one, what's my man's name? Scott D'Amore would be able to poach the best wrestlers and strengthen his company, and two, the guys who run these companies aren't good people. So who gives a shit? You know, like Billy Corgan's a carny, and he backs some really dubious people. And Court Bauer is just like he's just a conniving bastard.
Yo, Court Bauer is like Court
He's
Bauer. Deadass might be evil. I can't.
He's Heyman, but like, except he's not funny.
That nigga went to AAA, said, "Give me all your luchadors to do Lucha Underground Part 2," and then did 3 episodes and never did another episode again. Had these niggas thinking they was gonna get booked, and didn't get booked.
He is just a carny.
Anyway, let's dive into some super chats. Andy, 100 rupees. SRS reported that Heyman and Roman would decide when this reign ends. Wouldn't they want to break Hogan's record, and would Triple H refute them? I don't get I don't get the super big significance of like Hogan's record that some Roman Reigns fans that want him to break that record like seeing it, because then what, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna want Bruno's record next. It's just like it's
we're going for Bruno.
You got your 1,000 days. Like, that's, come on, it's time. And I'm sure Triple H and the other people in creative probably, look at Cody Rhodes, man. Look at him on that Survivor Series floor river. That's
that post was godly.
It's time.
Brian Alvarez pointed this out.
Ibu, what do you think? Do you think Triple H, if Roman Reigns was like, nah, he gets to WrestleMania season, Roman's like, nah.
I'd like to think Hunter's goal going into this Mania is to get Roman on the same page of dropping the belt, if that makes any sense. I can tell you this last Mania season, not everybody involved in this process was into the idea of Cody beating Roman, and parties involved in the situation informed Paul Levesque about this around March, and Hunter didn't seem to push back. He was just kind of like, okay. And I would like to think this year around, it's like, no, you're bugging. So, I can tell you this: The Office, they don't love Roman's limited dates and schedule. I can tell you, like Cody.
You got Cody just fucking.
Yeah, so I'm going to tell you this: Cody absolutely, and he's doing this on purpose. He has distinguished himself to The Office and The Boys as like the complete opposite of Roman, because he's very much like down to do anything, down to make every appearance, every town, every house show. There's been a couple that he's been added to late that he wasn't even planning to do. When they need him to fly in to do some type of appearance with the kids or charity or signings, he does every single one of them. Cody Rhodes,
so many signings. Before the live shows, he's just signing belts.
It was told to me that Cody sleeps 2 hours a day, and I believe that, so yeah, like they really appreciate him from that standpoint, and they absolutely see him as like their top babyface star. Whereas Roman Reigns, they just kind of know what it is with him, which is Big Rome comes when he comes, and he kind of already knows what he's gonna do when he comes, because he's already worked it out with Paulie.
Come on, bro.
Paulie's gonna just brief Hunter about it. Hunter's gonna, ask for certain tweaks and things like, hey, make sure we do this as well too, blah blah blah. But the bottom line is, Roman comes in, he has a good idea of 75% what he's gonna do on that day. There's no negotiation. There's no producer to walk up to him to, hey, I think you should. No, fuck, get away from me. So it's
you give us 16 million, we'll do the job in Philly.
He wants like a one-time fee for doing the job.
We need that Brock. If you want us the job, we need that Brock money. Sadly,
could you imagine, Monty? Like Roman comes in for the Rumble, and Hunter's like looking him in the eyes, like, "You're gonna do it this year, right? You're gonna do that job." And Roman's like, "Yeah, we'll talk about it," And it's like 2 weeks before, and he's like, "I'm not dropping this, you know that, right?" And it's like, well, what are you talking about?
This, man, but you would hope by the Rumble they would have a very solid idea of what's going to happen at the end of WrestleMania.
By the way, guys, Roman has creative control. I just want to let you guys know. He has the dreaded the dreaded Hulk Hogan creative control. He has creative control. Randy Orton has partial CC. Kevin Owens now has partial CC, which is interesting. So yeah,
Randy Orton should be full.
Karan, 100 rupees, appreciate it. Is Seth going to get Wrestle Purist Wrestler of the Week after his consecutive bangers so joke and hilariously snap? Need this.
What's
Well,
on
the
Dynamite tonight?
match with Drew was last week. Last week's
Yeah.
Wrestler of the Week was Shota Umino, so it's one match this week so far with Sami Zayn, and probably not, because I thought, me personally speaking, I thought Sami Zayn was a bit hard for that match, so if I was going to give you anyone from that match, it would be Sami Zayn, so... that's just me, though. Of course, there's like 10 people who vote for the rest of the week, but I don't think it's going to be this week. We'll see, though. We'll see. But yeah, man. We'll see. Like I said, Darren Walker, £2. Appreciate you. Lexus King gave 2023 promo of the year last night. Come on, bro. No, yeah. There's doing bits and joking around, and
He's right.
but, come on, come on. We're going to get to that very shortly, though. Riley Walker, $5. Appreciate you. One of the most disgusting things I read this week was that Nikki Cross's new character is better than Orange Cassidy. Oh, come on. No, it's not. Come on. People are different things, though, I guess.
It's like a quirky meme gimmick if it wasn't funny and wasn't over.
No,
Time
what
to
it
let
is.
sanity go.
It's nothing, it's nothing.
Yeah, like it does nothing for anybody.
Bob the Builder, $2 Canadian. Recipes Worldwide, Dream Guest, HBK, TK, Garcia, and Bully. Let's try to get Bully on.
Yo, we gotta get Bully.
I'm gonna try and make that happen. HBK and Shawn Michaels. Obviously, we haven't got the plug. We haven't got the link for the WWE stuff yet. So maybe one day. Tony Khan. I mean, I can always ask. Garcia, I can always ask. But Bully Ray, see what he's up to. I know he's a busy guy. He's doing Busted Open. He's an Impact legend. He's busy guy. I'll try though. We'll try. We're always trying.
Billy brother, you gotta come on. We treat stars well over here.
Big Hero Chris, $5. Appreciate it. We are NXT. Absolutely. Good. Scott Diamore's most loyal soldier, $1.99. Appreciate you. Alexis King equals generational talent. You guys are killing it today.
He is. He is.
Jacob Donnelly, $2. Appreciate you. Can we talk about the greatness of Lexi? What is wrong with you people?
No, they cooking right now. Scott
Diamore's most loyal soldier again, $1.99. Appreciate you. What in the hell is going on in MLW? A lot of weird release stories. Obviously, there's been people who've apparently been granted the releases. There's been people that haven't allegedly been granted their releases, but some people are saying that they haven't been granted the release and haven't had much contact with the promotion. Like, let's talk about Alex Hammerstone, former.
As a resident MLW watcher around here, can I give a little bit of insight? So basically, MLW is going down the drain. It's really bad. They lost 2 TV deals in 1 year. A lot of talent are looking to get out because they're not being given what they're owed, or they're not being given what they were promised. Hammerstone asked for his release a hot minute ago, and then they basically told him, "Yeah, you're getting it," but he hasn't gotten it yet. Ades just posted something on his Twitter today, basically a long note saying that, "Yo, I haven't been booked." They literally haven't booked him in like 18 months, and he hasn't been wrestling at all besides in Mexico. So he needs to get the fuck out. It's really bad in MLW, and I'm hopping off the train officially. It's over. We're dying. So.
Officially off the train.
Sorry to interrupt. I just came across this. Monty, today I don't know if you probably didn't catch any of Gunther on the bump, but he just was giving his real opinions on everything, including The Miz, which he was just kind of like they were asking him a question, but the graphic of The Miz had his like little kind of ninja headband and the outfit, and he just chuckled and went like, just look at that picture, just look at the picture. Look at them. And like he's just chuckling. But they were talking about the IC title's history, and they had like the Ultimate Warrior, and he went, "Those are the Dark Ages."
Oh my! What a fucking beast! What a real wrestler.
He is a beast, From what I hear. But yeah, shout out Gunther. I'll probably catch up on that later. But yeah, Scott Diamore's most loyal soldier. I'm sorry to say, MLW. A lot of release stories, a lot of negative news. Jonathan Gomez, $1.99. Appreciate it. As NXT's strongest soldier, give my boy Rob a cut.
Hey man, I just I speak truth. Everything I say is going to happen comes into existence, and you know, BPJ will be good one day. We working on it.
And, I have no name. I have disposed of it. $4.99. Appreciate you. If WWE in 2002 had a WCW/New Japan Pro Wrestling style partnership with Noah, what would be some dream matches? Ibu, this sounds like
Yes, that's an Ibu
this is
question.
directly for you.
Yeah,
Go off, bro.
This would never happen. WWE doesn't do partnerships. They absolutely would not do one in 02. They were still trying to integrate ECW and WCW's roster into their company, which is already difficult enough with the brand split. But nevertheless, if they did a super card, right? This was what they would do. Let's pretend this happened in, say, May,
Yeah, okay.
June-ish, so that Steve Austin is still there and Rock is still there. Here we go. Mitsuharu Misawa versus Steve Austin. Steve Austin's going to work heel in that match. Kenta Kobashi. You know what? I'm booking it for fun rather than for drawing power. So I'm doing Kenta Kobashi versus Brock Lesnar.
Oh, to Lesnar.
Yes. I am doing Naomichi Marufuji versus Rey Mysterio.
Okay, give me two more.
Okay.
What's Benny doing?
Oh, fuck's sake.
Chris Benoit versus Vader.
Not that ass. Go ahead, bro.
All right, one more.
All right, one more. Let's do. Oh, Junaki
give me something for the Undertaker, bro.
Junaki versus Big Evil Undertaker.
Big
Evil Taker versus Junaki.
I can get down with that, brother. I can get down with that.
Wait. One more. Okay. Yoshihiro Takayama versus.
What was that noise, bro?
Takayama versus
That was
Test.
crazy. Takayama,
God bless, man. God rest his soul. I was a fan of Test, man. God bless. But yeah. Hush $4.99, appreciate it. You guys think Warner Brothers Discovery sees the NXT deal and doesn't offer AEW the billion it was rumored for, since they're not too far in week-to-week ratings? Well, the thing is with NXT, of course, it's just one show, so that's a big factor in it. AEW as a promotion.
Kurt Angle versus Kenta. Kurt Angle versus Kenta.
Maybe. I don't. If they were gonna offer him $1 billion upwards, I doubt it's gonna make them offer like way under that or anything like that. But maybe, of course, other deals in the industry are going to affect what companies offer to, promotions for their programming. Because you want to base it off the industry average, etc., etc. So it'll be interesting. But AEW Dynamite currently already makes more than I think they get 45-50 million a year currently. Which, obviously compared to like Raw and SmackDown is like pennies, and compared to other things that draw similarly to it is pennies. So, I think the CW network have got themselves a pretty decent deal with NXT here, to be honest, even though it is a huge increase on what NXT was formerly getting. Probably going to work out to be a decent deal on both ends, to be honest.
Even though it hasn't been formally announced after all those rumors and stuff, I actually don't think the figure that was thrown out for AEW seems all that inaccurate. Like, it seems pretty realistic to me the way things are going with everybody's money, the way it's like shaking out, so to speak.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me if they did just get $1 billion for 4 or 5 years or something. So, yeah, man. Will Chisholm, $4, appreciate it. Money wise, with the payday NXT got, will there be changes looks wise or going to a new building? This, of course, was sent a little earlier on. So, I did touch on it earlier. What it did say in one of the reports that WWE is open to traveling NXT if it makes financial sense to them. So, CW Network wants to throw some more money at it to get them touring, then they can do it. But as it stands, it's going to still be at the Performance Center, I think. So, we'll see. Obviously, it's very cost effective to run it from the Performance Center, so it would have to make financial sense for WWE to do anything else. Will, again, appreciate you. What's the talent reaction of the new deal? I haven't heard anything really. It's not really something that I don't know. Even if you asked around.
No, I haven't heard anything yet. I'll ask, but I haven't heard anything. I heard from one NXT wrestler on it, and he just went, "I better not be on the show by that point."
I mean, he's October 2024, bro. So
Exactly.
If you are high-end NXT talent, that's probably the mentality you should have, Bodybuilder, $2 Canadian. Imagine if Warner Brothers Discovery gets Raw, what happens to AEW? I can't see any network having both, man. I just can't see it.
Tony
Don't
Khan
ask
has been
me.
a really good and loyal partner to WBD, though. So you would hope that they return that loyalty back, because he could have shopped Ring of Honor and he opted not to because WBD didn't want it and he wasn't gonna fuck with his partner. You know what I mean? So.
Bodybuilder, $2. Ibu, are you related to George's Niang of the Cavs?
No, I'm not. He's a very light skin. He has a skin.
Niang's a common last name, bro.
It's not in the States, Monty. That's the thing. It's not a common last name over here. In fact, usually when people see my last name, they're like, "Oh, where are you from? Niang? Where are you from?" So.
Oh yeah, obviously it's not your typical name in the States or even here in England, but for a lot of
footballers with Niang, though.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. Will Chisholm, $2, appreciate it. That Cody Survivor Series poster pops me. Same, bro, that's good shit.
That angle,
Short Spurs, $5, appreciate it. After the reaction to Cody in his imperialist American attire in Saudi Arabia, I'm convinced he's the guy to secure peace in the Middle East. Fuck's sake.
It's over, brother.
Scott Dearmore's Most Law Soldier, $4.99, appreciate it. Where does Seth land currently on the WWE importance list since Cody and Roman are clearly 1 and 2?
Don't ask me.
I know exactly where he lands. It's Cody and Roman Reigns. We're not counting Brock for this. It's Cody and Roman Reigns, and this is just amongst the men. Then it's Kevin Owens. That might surprise people, but it's Kevin Owens. Then it's Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins is Seth and Sammy are basically right around the same spot, but Sammy's not as protected as Seth, and they will ask Sammy to do some jobs when they need him to, because they just trust that he will be okay even after jobbing.
He's proven it.
He
got the most over he's ever got after going like 2 years of doing jobs and a lot of nothing.
So don't have Sammy losing, so that's why he's probably a little under Seth. But they have Kevin Owens over Seth Rollins internally. Triple H really, 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 really loves him. So
I was about to say,
Rob.
I was about to say you might be wrong, but Seth is so important. They have be hiding Gunther from that nigga, so you might be right.
Yeah, Paul does like Seth a lot, even though they fight all the time.
Yeah, no idea what the actual internal power rankings are right now. Because of course they have the Raw babyface and the Raw heel roster. I don't know what that currently is, but in a big picture sense, it probably is very close to what you've been saying.
Yeah, LA Knight is listed as the number 1 babyface on SmackDown, but he's under like in their little kind of hierarchy. He's under the people that I just named.
Yeah, man, and I can imagine Jey Uso is probably just under as well, because there's people who want to ascend to the level of the guys above him in these power rankings. Jey Uso's, of course, ascending as a single star. LA Knight, of course, goes without saying. And I'm sure there's a few others as well.
They're also very, very high on Gunther and Damian Priest, which is kind of obvious, when you just watch the TV.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
Dragon, $5, appreciate it. Ibu, who insults you as a pro wrestler more, Austin Theory or Brian Pillman Jr.?
Unfortunately, it's Brian. I really didn't.
I was about to say I know the answer to that. Because you always are like, at least Theory has a bag. So.
He's deeply unfortunate too, though.
Yeah. Which is $5.
Did you see that? Wait. Did you see that promo you got on SmackDown, Monty?
I've seen all of them.
He says, "Going to punch me in my face." Says, "I have a punchable face. You have a punchable face. My face is a good face. Your face is a bad face. I got a real face. you got an ugly face, and I'm gonna make sure you're gonna eat a Halloween mask, even though it's not Halloween. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yo, that's
fuck is
legit
this?
promo. You're lying right now, bro.
That's like 85% what he said. Like,
Let me go look.
It was horrible.
Yeah, it wasn't good. Will Chisholm, $4.
He
Appreciate you.
stinks.
You know, Triple H told Gunther to get his shit off on The Miz. More off. Very much more off. Will Chisholm again, $4. Appreciate you. The way TK is shooting on Vince, it feels like they may vote his ass out.
Yo,
Yeah. You see that something in like the earnings report that came out yesterday. It was like, if we have Vince back properly, he could potentially, cause
a
what was
risk.
it, like public negative perception or something like that, which would affect stock, shareholders or whatever it was at the put. But we'll see how that one plays out. But it does seem like Vince's days are numbered. But he has came back from much worse, so you never know with Vince.
I will say, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
They are dogging him out, and it's really funny to see. And it's like he's powerless to do anything about it. So they're just like they're trotting him out wherever they feel like. Go make a fucking Saudi appearance, you jackass. Go here, go there. And he just looks decrepit doing it.
Yo, that nigga.
And
he is in the fourth quarter.
They're calling him a risk factor. Ari's basically like, yeah, well, the stock dropping. That's probably Vince, And then you got him taking off creative. It is just they're I will say, man, the way business works and shit would not shock me, Monty. Genuinely, I'm not gonna immediately call like this is gonna happen, but wouldn't shock me if in like a number of months that Ari just kind of goes like, we appreciate Vince and what he did for getting this TKO relationship off the ground. He was a big part of creating WWE and all that type of stuff and getting blah blah blah. We thank him for everything. At this time, we will now move on from him. Like, I would not surprise you if they did something like that. And the day that happens, a couple people within WWE will be quietly pumping their fists, but they will not sell it publicly. Hunter's going to be in that scrum like, oh yeah, I mean, Vince, wow, I mean, what he's done, wow, just a pioneer of this industry,
Yeah.
We good?
Yeah, that was the end of the bit.
I was very confused. I was like,
that was it.
Nostradamus, $5. Appreciate your thoughts on the theory that WWE is adamant they aren't negotiating with Punk because his 90-day non-compete doesn't end until the week of Survivor Series.
I can tell you I'll tell you this. That's a great theory. That's a genuinely great theory. But CM Punk is not under a no compete.
There you have it, people.
That's kind of a sick theory, though. I can't lie. I kind of like that one.
They would have been told us if he was under a non-compete. So
yeah, he just isn't. Tony Khan refrained from admitting it. Like when they asked him, like, is he under a non-compete? He didn't want to answer that, but he's not. He's not under a non-compete.
Hush 199. Appreciate it. Who does Triple H not mess with but has to push? Nobody knows. For the time being, it seems.
He's not a huge Mike Mizanin fan, but Miz makes $2 million.
What the fuck is
speaking
Miz?
of the Miz, Jizzle $4.99. Who is AEW's Miz? TV draw, gets his opponent over every time, and extraordinary durable. Orange Cassidy. If you only look at the Miz as those three things there, then I don't know, maybe. Ibram, do you have anything colourful for this?
I've gotten my ass kicked over the last couple of days, Monty. I don't know if you've seen just from my comments on Mr. Mizanin.
It's a cycle at this point, bro. It's fucking Miz does anything. Miz breathes. Ibu shits on him. Gets the shit kicked out of him by WWE fans. He's told he's a hater.
Last week, Ibu was like enraged over the Miz. It was crazy. I was like, yo, you gotta relax.
I was about to snap at Rob, Monty. I can't lie to you. He was
like, I was like, yo, you gotta relax, bro.
He was in the rest of his group chat like big Miz in, and I was like, not gonna lie, Rob, like just stop praising Miz in this chat. Like just shut the fuck up.
Hey, listen, did you hear that? Did you hear that crowd? when Mike was at it through that ball. Did you hear that crowd when he did that fucking
Yeah,
DDT on Monday?
they're clapping seals. What do you want from me?
All right,
Rob, you got an answer for Sir Jizzle on this one?
I wouldn't say
Jizzle's
OC
crazy,
is
man.
criminal. I would say probably QT Marshall, probably.
Not a TV draw though.
Oh, he's not a fucking TV
At
draw.
all.
Damn, I can't really think of one. Because
Yeah,
a lot of I wouldn't say I was about to
you've
say all the
stumped us,
AEW.
brother.
I
You've
was about to say
stumped
all
us,
the
Sir
AEW
Jizzle.
wrestlers are good, and that would be me lying. So my fault. I'm sorry, y'all.
I have an exclusive scoop for you guys, but you have to promise to not leak this out anywhere. Just
Why do you do this?
keep it in here. Keep it in this stream. Don't be annoying. Don't aggregate this. I'm just sharing something with the community. These are some of the nice exclusives you get from being here. Monty's like, fuck. AEW has confirmed to me that they will address the Young Bucks, FTR, Ricky Stark's Big Bill tag title situation going into Full Gear.
Tonight.
Yes, they will address this tonight. You will know what's they're gonna make this less confusing and give us a clear indication of what's going on with that situation.
What the fuck does FTR have to do with it? They lost clean.
It was informed to me that they will address this.
Yeah, they'll do a rematch, bro, because of course like Cash didn't wrestle in that match, you know, so like
Nigga, you lost clean.
They did like the big injury angle with Cash, so
Yeah,
you know, it doesn't surprise me that they are gonna do some sort of rematch at some point, you know. So there you have it. There you have it, folks. Tonight on
If I see
Dynamite.
this on the timeline, I'm never doing this again.
Yo, niggas really be like playing like FTR don't get opportunities. Like, this is crazy. These niggas lost clean as a whistle.
Well, now in WWE, rematch clauses exist, so they can
I was like, fucking Prince
that.
Nana was like rematch clause, and I was like, nigga, when did we start doing this?
Yeah, so they can easily be like, I'll use my rematch clause because we want to face the Young Bucks at Full Gear.
I hope the Young Bucks looks at these niggas and is like, yo, rematch clause. What the fuck are you talking about, bro?
That's the thing that exists now. So
yeah, well, it's gonna get addressed tonight. So
yeah.
Anyway,
what do you think the addressing will be, Monty? Because
I don't know, man. I don't know. We need to keep it moving though. WWE NXT last night. Okay, some decent wrestling. I didn't think it was the most eventful show, but we'll go for it. We've already mentioned Tozawa. I can't remember if it was before while we was on the air, but yeah, Tozawa, man, he's had his working boots on this week, brother. He's been looking. Hold on, I'm messing around with the theme. I just realised we've got the worldwide banner, but yeah, Tozawa's looking good, Rob.
Oh yeah, he was looking very good, bro. He's doing a lot of the shit he was doing in PWG again. Even in the fucking Cruiserweight Classic, like he's doing the little fucking sequence he does where he does the slide through the legs and shit like that. I will say I was a downer on Heritage Cup matches at first, but I'm kind of warming up to the concept. I really enjoyed last night's match. If they keep producing matches like they did last night and the match with Butch at the pay-per-view, then Heritage Cup rules are fine with me, but I think this should build up to Tozawa actually winning the thing or winning something.
So, yeah, it seems like that's what they're building towards. Tozawa's going to get some sort of, he's going to get something somewhere. I'm not quite sure what. Maybe is this because it's Noam Dar, like it's
He's won the bitch like 4 times already too.
Yeah, it's like it's not like it's not like you're killing someone that's about to go on and win the NXT title or something. So, I can see Tozawa eventually winning the Heritage Cup for real off
Tozawa was at. I can give you guys some news. Tozawa was at TV Monday, and he had a meeting with Paul Levesque, and I had no idea what it was about, but I'm imagining now, given that we saw here, he may have mapped out some creative for him regarding this. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it seems that way. That's the impression that we've been getting. So obviously he's got his working boots on again with the Alpha Academy. So
but
it seems like it's going further than that as well. So
Did I say Tozawa? I meant Noam Dar was at TV Monday.
Oh.
Yeah, Noam Dar. Sorry, Noam Dar was at TV Monday, and he had a long conversation, a meeting with Paul Levesque, and they mapped out creative.
Good.
Yeah.
What else do we have? Laura Valkyria, first appearance with the NXT title. She was confronted by Xia Li. Was backstage with the women in the locker room. These segments always make me laugh. Lola Voice and Roxanne got in each other's faces. It was real music, but I tried telling you earlier, but you just gotta listen,
I'll tell you what.
Anyway, go on.
Santino's daughter is pretty funny. She's pretty fun.
Oh, she's great.
She's
great.
Yeah, she's amazing, bro.
But yeah, that women's locker rooms backstage segment was kind of to set up a tag match later on. But yeah, first Iron Survivor qualifier match: Tiffany Stratton versus Fallon Henley. I thought they'd done some really nice stuff here. Of course, the viral clip of Tiffany Stratton just dumping Fallon Henley out the ring was one of the highlights of the match. But I thought it was pretty nice work. Of course, Tiffany Stratton's coming along very nicely. Fallon Henley, I think, has she's definitely been making her progress in NXT, and they had a nice little match here. It was nothing blow away. It's nothing that I'd run to recommend to my friends, but it did what they needed to do here, I thought. You guys got anything to add?
I love Tiffany Stratton. I always enjoy watching her wrestle. I think she's a beast, and yeah, it was around this point in the show where I just thought, like, man, this show like has so many wrestlers that I actually like really like.
Yeah,
it's just the non-wrestling is just not for me.
Oh shit! Yo, what's going on?
I'm actually at work, but can't
quiet and
advertise tonight's Twitch stream. We will be back tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
I don't know what time it is, British Standard Time. But we're back. I'll be there. Rob will be there. I don't know who else is coming. Probably Chuck or something. Just pop out. Yo, look at this. Still got
Pop
it, brother.
is huge.
Hey, yo, Pops in the chat. I still got it, brother. This is I'm in the bathroom. Nah, I'm using Beats wireless headphones. That's all. That's why it sounds like shit. But I'll probably be on the pod tomorrow too. So book me, Monty. I'm there. I'm out of here.
AO making the towns. All right, so yeah, as AO was plugging, Twitch stream, watch along, AEW Dynamite tonight. Just before the show starts, we'll be going live, so make sure you tap into us over on Twitch there for the watch along. And then AO is just, AO does have some creative control, it seems. He's booked himself for the Dynamite review tomorrow. So happy days. Make sure you all tap in.
7:45 Eastern.
All right, back to NXT. Wesley had an interview. Of course, he's just recently returned. He says that he wants the North American Championship off Dom, but he's interrupted by Corbin. See what happens there. Braun Breaker cut a really good promo before his match with Von Wagner.
He fucking rules, Monty.
He's beast, man.
I gotta say this real quick. Again, I'm not gonna belabor the point. I'm not into the non-wrestling skit type shit in NXT. I don't like it. Most of the time, the acting is really bad. And it's so not wrestling to me. There's one exception. There might be 2 or 3. But the biggest exception is Braun Breaker. This guy is a good wrestler actor, Monty. He just comes out there with his Dominican chain and the beard, and he just he comes off legitimately menacing without he doesn't look like he's playing wrestler, And that's a big testament to him, because at that level of development, to not seem like you're acting or just playing a wrestler is a huge thing, because most of these people do. So Braun's fucking awesome. I don't even remember what he said. I just remember liking it and pumping my fist when he came on my screen.
Yeah, he was. He's basically.
Basically, so I'm going to kill Von Wagner tonight.
Yeah, literally what I was gonna say. Yeah, man. Braun versus Von. Braun Breaker versus Von Wagner. Von Wagner comes out and he's got the scar. He's got this scar, of course. They're trying to sell this thing from when Braun crushed his head with the steps. That's the reason why he's been out for so long. But yeah, man, this was one of those matches where it was just like, I had a good time watching it. I'm not sure how good it actually was, but it was just two big dudes just kind of clobbering into
Just
each
whacking
other.
each other, you know.
Bron Breakker was throwing Von Wagner, who's like easy, like 260 or something. You know, he was just throwing him around, bro. Like he was a cruiserweight. It was crazy. Bron Breakker hit two crazy spears. I know his spears are always good, but that one on the outside last night, like,
dude,
bro.
Guess what, man?
I do love Bron Breakker. I do
Monty,
love
I want
him.
you to think about this. Think about the work Paul Heyman produced with a talent on the level of Solo Sikoa in the build of John Cena, in terms of framing him as a monster with this thumb thing, and then the way he laid out the finish of the Saudi match and how that guy came off. And I want you to now imagine Paul Heyman coming up with creative for Bron Breakker.
Bro, it's money.
Oh my god!
You know, it's money. I think Bron Breakker's money anyway. I think he's a hard fumble. You know, it's like, you know, I think there's some serious fuck ups if you fumble him, whether it's Heyman dealing with him, whether it's Triple H dealing with him, whether it's, you know, it seems pretty easy to, you know, get him over as
Heyman has his hand out. He's like, Spear Frankensteiner.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck who's the IC champion the night after WrestleMania. Braun should come out and win that title on that show.
Fuck that. I'm not. Get this nigga on TV next week.
No.
Enough.
I don't, bro. But I don't think you can get. You've already fucking teased the thing with Heyman. Do you have him go without Heyman for a little while?
No,
and
you
just by
bring
himself.
him with him. I'm telling you.
you bring it. This is what you do. You bring him up when Roman drops the belt and he fucks off for 6 months. That's when you bring him up. You know, that's when it happens. So after Mania, the Raw after Mania, you know, bring him up, and he just spears a few people in some squashes.
No.
You know, you have Heyman in the back. You know,
No.
Keep it. You want to do the big introduction?
Here's my Monty. Late this year, early next year, Braun's on SmackDown. The creative plan laid out last week where, like, you know, he gets banned from NXT and, you know, Nick Aldis signs him and shit, right? Roman's just kind of like, who the fuck is this kid? But Paul Heyman's clearly been plotting him. He's very interested. Roman kind of is unsure about Braun. Paul Heyman kind of frames him as like, he's an insurance policy. This kid is great. You don't want him in our crosshairs. You don't want him in our whatever. If I need him, if we need him, I can rely on him. You know, that type of thing. And Roman's just kind of like, sure, whatever, right? And then we get to a point where Braun is like not in the bloodline, in my opinion, but like somebody that they can, like, you know, essentially like task to do things, right? And so you leave it in that form, right? And then after Mania, you know what? Like New Year's, what happened to Monty?
Yo, what's going on here?
Monty, you getting shot? What's going on?
No, I was just grabbing myself a bottle of water, bro.
Oh, so and then so you guys know how in New Year's Dash, it was almost a yearly tradition that somebody got kicked out of the Bullet Club.
Yeah,
New Japan. You do a thing where Roman borderline turns like babyface after Mania, after losing to Cody, where he kind of just thanks the fans for, like, you know, respecting him and blah blah blah, right? He kind of like almost does a borderline sign off, like, I'll see you guys later type of thing. And then Braun goes, no, fuck all that, and he just destroys him and just turns on him right there, doing New Year's Dash angle.
Braun versus Solo Sikoa. Oh my god.
Yeah. See Roman doing that.
That's the problem. Getting Roman Hogan to agree to that.
Roman's just gonna do that, bro. You know,
Roman's gonna be like,
you can just pitch that, and Roman's just like, yeah, man, sweet.
So you want me to job to Cody?
Not happening, news. You know,
you want me to job to Cody and then just get beat up by this Steiner kid? That's what you want me to do?
He can do all the he can do all that to my cousin. I don't know about me though.
Yeah, he's getting Jimmy Uso, bro. That's who he's getting. Did you guys see that Brawling Brutes video cut back?
It was kind of. You didn't see my post, Monty? After I said that NXT was off-putting, I followed up with a screenshot of that, and I said, "Okay, this is good."
The mean streets of the UK, of England,
that shit was hard.
In the Peaky Blinders hats and shit. You know, they got the granddad caps on. You know,
Man.
It was almost AEW Road to E a little bit. I fucked with it.
Oh, it was funny. I'm not sure if it was good. I'm not sure if it even made him look very menacing, but I was entertained. You know,
I could believe them, Monty. My thing in wrestling is I just want to believe you. I could believe them in that role. Like, they just felt where the fuck they're from, you know.
I don't know, man. The pictures they used of Pete Dunne didn't exactly make him look like a scrapper, you know. He had like an ear stretcher in one of them, I think. It was just like, all right, man.
Every week we should be presenting them this way. They're on SmackDown. It's like, next week, Pretty Deadly. You want to brawl with the Brawling Brutes, yeah? And
Yeah,
I played rugby for 10 years, man. And all that shit they were saying.
Brawling
Do
Brutes package.
you think Tyler Bate gets called up and added to that group, Monty?
I don't know what to make. I don't know what to make of a WWE stance with Tyler Bate these days.
The reason why I ask is because Sheamus' future is very uncertain, and there have been creative pitches to use Tyler Bate to replace Sheamus in the Brawling Brutes, and he lost.
You can't replace Sheamus, bro.
Yeah,
no, there's no replacing Sheamus.
That's outrageous. You know?
No, there's no replacing Sheamus. No.
You're better off just breaking up the group and just doing something with Pete and
Tyler.
Yeah. Sorry, Ridge. Sorry, Ridge. You can be like the big man heel that that squashes a few baby faces here and there, and loses to a real baby face every few weeks.
I'm a Ridge truther. I can't lie. I'm the high man.
He's all right, man. He's all right. Lola Vice and Elektra Lopez versus Roxanne Perez and Kalani Jordan with Ariana James at ringside, which she was just kind of popping herself, popping me as well. But I was quite the fan of this. Roxanne Perez, she's still so young, and she was just like out there leading this tag match, with these 3 green talents, and the 3 green talents that aren't like just playing green, like Lola and Elektra have a lot of charisma. Of course, a lot of people have bought stocks in Lola Vice. Kalani Jordan, of course, is a great athlete. So there's things to work with, and of course, a lot of agenting and producing goes into these NXT matches. But you still got to execute when you get out there. And I thought, like I said, Roxanne Perez done a really good job of just kind of leading this thing and making it come across as smooth as she could. But yeah, man, Roxanne Perez, big fan. Ariana James, pop me Jordan at the end of this match. There's some promising women in this division, Ibo. What do you think?
God bless, innit? I don't know.
God bless. That's all you need, bro.
God bless. I saw the Lola Vice Elektra Lopez entrance. I said God bless. I saw Roxanne and Kalani Jordan being all enthusiastic wrestling, and the crowd took to them. God bless. Ariana Grace came out and did her shtick. God bless.
God bless all of them.
God bless
young promising women just trying to make it in this industry. It's just God bless.
God bless.
Yeah. Promising stuff. It wasn't terrible. Far from it. In fact, and like I said, I think Roxanne, she's just beyond the years in ring. She's just don't want to go on a full on rant about how good Roxanne Perez is for her age, but she's pretty good. Joe Gacy cut a promo and had no idea what he was trying to tell me. Can anyone try and decipher this?
I feel like he was auditioning for MLW Fusion.
It was weird. I don't know why. Genuinely, it was like some Law promo that he recorded on his phone, I think. If someone in the chat can try and decipher what Joe Gacy was cooking, I don't know, man.
Well, he's basically saying that he's been fighting off the dark voices in his head that have made, he clearly has these evil impulses he's been fighting off. And even when he had all these new people in this schism group, the voices were still there. They're coming out now.
Anyway. Otis versus Drew Gulak.
Yeah.
Yo.
Nice bit of business, man. What did you think, Rob?
Yo, fucking Otis, bro. Ever since Danielson was like, yo, Otis is a fucking dog. Y'all just never seen it. We always been like, yo, we need to see what Otis is cooking. Yo, that fucking pop-up powerbomb, brother. That pop-up
Oh my God, he just fucking... That was crazy.
Oh my God.
Just crumbled him.
Then fucking out of nowhere, he fucking clears Jonah, by the way, even though Jonah is kind of good too. But fucking He just started doing Vader hammers and shit. Yo, I'm a big Otis truther, bro. He's so fucking good.
Yeah, big fan of Otis. Ibu, I know you're a big fan of Otis as well. You got anything to add on the Gulak match last night?
The Mastodon, Big Van Otis.
Yo,
Come on, man. Of course I got a take on that. The take is he fucking rules. You know, he did these
he's a
back
good
elbows.
time.
Did these back elbows. His backdrop suplex was awesome. You know, on
Dude.
Gulak off the second rope. And yeah, he's just a beast. Alpha Academy come off like rock stars in the PC, by the way. Like they just all came off really, really well, including
Anyone that's got any like sort of fanfare, like any at all, you know.
Mhm.
Once you come down to NXT, you're the man, bro.
You're treated like a guy.
Doesn't matter if
Yeah.
you're Dolph Ziggler or Natalia, you know. It's like you come down there, you're a big deal, bro. You know, it's
What do
cool
you
to
think,
see.
Monty? What do you think about this? I feel like because I'm a big fan of Gulak as a worker, I
Mhm.
feel like you could use a guy like that on SmackDown specifically as a guy who can go and eat pins in like 4-minute matches to give baby faces momentum. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he could. I think Gulak could be useful on any roster on the planet. You know,
Exactly.
he's definitely good
Yeah.
enough to be. So, and
Right.
he's useful now in NXT, doing pretty much that role that you've just said. You know, so
He's covert. He's training people over there. That's why they have him there. But yeah,
yeah. So
Yo,
I mean, he works.
we watched a 6-minute Claudio and Gulak match last night on Discord, and yo, holy shit!
wait.
6 minutes.
You're missing the freak part about it, Monty. This was a 6-minute Claudio Gulak match on the
God.
pre-show of the Pandemic WrestleMania in the Performance Center with no crowd.
Oh my god!
And
It's quite pathetic, I have to say.
Monty, I'm afraid to tell you what my star rating for this is.
Keep it to
Yo.
yourself, mate. Anyway, moving on. It's revealed that Tony D'Angelo and Stax will be getting their tag title rematch versus Chase U next week. We got the next Iron Survivor match, Iron Survivor qualifying match. My bad. Tyler Bate versus Dijak. Dijak got the win in this one. Again, nice bit of wrestling for NXT, man. You know,
Yeah.
Dijak, of course. You know, he works well with guys of any size. Dijak does, to be honest. And Bate, you know, he's pretty. A lot of his big matches have been against like bigger guys, so like, this just worked. You know,
Monty, I gotta stop you in your
worked.
tracks. It's been suggested in our chat by Berserk. Otis versus Obafemi.
Obafemi. What about him?
Wait, did I lag? I said in our chat.
Otis
versus Obafemi.
Hey man, I'm down.
3.5.
No, we need that Gable and Gulak. I can't cap.
Yeah, Obafemi is definitely someone that bought a lot of stocks in. I've almost gone broke, you know. But yeah, man. Like I said, tag title set for next week. Chase U matches gets crazy over, so I'm sure that'll be a good time. Again, Bate versus Dijak. Iba, did you like this one? I know you're a big fan of Dijak and big fan of Bate as well.
Yeah, I like Tyler Bate. I think Dijak is having his best run in a couple of years. I actually like his aesthetic with the shades and stuff, and just his
Hard
presentation.
justice.
Yeah, high justice Dijak. Yeah, I fuck with the presentation. I will continue to beat the drum. I think he should be on the main roster. I think he'd add some heel depth in the upper mid card scene. I think he had a good one here with Tyler Bate. He's going in the Iron Survivor Challenge. Listen, his match with Ilya Dragunov earlier this year was fucking great. So I'd love to see him win the challenge and get a title match against Dragunov at a big show. So yeah, man, I thought this was good. I'm a big fan of Dijak. What was funny to me was in all the video packages with Tyler Bate, like he's just like, I'm done living off my past accomplishments. I'm done just getting by on what I used to do. It's time to make my new path now. And he lost. It's like, okay. But nevertheless, they will do a last chance battle royal for the last spot. And so it would not surprise me if he won that. But yeah, this is a good match, and I'm a big fan of Dijak, and I hope either he goes on to challenge Dragunov or he just gets called up.
Yeah, man. Rob, do you think Dijak should be on the main roster?
Absolutely. I think you should throw him in the mix on Monday Night Raw. the Hoss division is what I'm calling it, with fucking Gunther and
Oh,
Bronson Reed and fucking Otis and all those guys, bro.
Ivar.
Ivar. Yeah.
Fucking Ivar. Just
Monty,
let
you
it
know
rock,
how?
bro.
So guys, off air, I was talking with Monty. We were just like waffling to Joe about how much we loved like 2000 WWF specifically, and we were like going off about like the APA segments and how people would find them on the table to like negotiate and strike deals. Could you imagine if Dijak became the on-screen kayfabe main roster go-to guy when you need to take somebody out? You know, like could you
I need some justice.
need some
I need some justice.
slide
That'd be
in like
tough.
$100 bill. You know.
Who's a whimpery heel on the main roster right now? I can't think of anybody.
I feel like
Who's like
LA
a-
Knight should do it during his heel run.
No. I need like a bitch heel. Like who
Oh
would
shit.
that be?
Miz probably.
Because Miz turned, but let's say Miz is in his normal role. Can you imagine him just being like, "Hey, listen, all right." He has like a bag of money or whatever, and he's just, "What do you want, Mike?" And it's just like, you know, it's so. Miz is like, this guy's giving me trouble. He's just like, "Put the money in the bag, Mike." And he's just like, "You got me?" And he's like, "Justice. Leave my room now."
Justice will be served.
Can you imagine the fucking shitty dueling promos of like
yeah, you could do. There's something. We're onto something. Yeah.
Monty? Wait, real quick, Monty. Can you imagine the performance art that would come from fucking dueling promos of like Dijak, TikTok, Dijak, and Dijak's counter promo of like, "You want me, Cross? Well, you can find me. You say TikTok. I could serve justice at any time."
Yeah.
All right, man.
3 stars. 3 stars
All
on
right,
SmackDown.
main event segment of NXT was Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes coming face to face. Of course, there's been this big quote unquote mystery of who attacked Trick Williams, taking him out of the number 1 contenders match for the NXT title a few weeks back. Of course, everything points to it being Carmelo Hayes. He's of course explicitly denied this multiple times on social media and on the shows. So yeah, Carmelo Hayes, he goes out there and he says, I need to talk to my boy. Invites Trick Williams down. They go back and forth. It's very dramatic, very law. The power of friendship is thriving in this, But yeah, the gist of it is that Trick Williams just wants Melo to be straight with him because, he feels like it's his time to have the ball now, he says. And obviously seeing Carmelo be so successful in NXT and being so supportive, it's his time now, and he wasn't feeling that he was getting that support from Melo. They go back and forth about it, and Trick, very bluntly asked him at the end, like, did you attack me the other week? And Trick Williams, and Carmelo Hayes is about to answer, like, yo, you want the truth? I'll tell you the truth. And then
Yeah.
Lexis King's music hits.
Big BPJ, nigga.
Lexis King, he comes out. He looks very awkward. He's still got that weird beard thing going on. And, I know it's been clipped up. We posted it on the WrestlePurist page as well. But like, he takes his shades off and he goes to put them in his breast pocket, but there's no pocket there. So he just, instead of just like putting them in his pocket or, tucking them on his waistband or something, he just throws them. He just throws them out of there. Like I said, it was kind of awkward, and he cuts a promo about maybe it was someone that wants to make a name for themselves. Maybe it was this, maybe it was that.
Are you twisted and dark? Are you twisted?
Are you sure it wasn't with someone with a twisted and dark mind? Just
oh man,
insane and demented.
Fucking...
Yo, Brian, you gotta hit up those.
Stop sucking your thumb and just.
I think,
Brian, you gotta.
I just think WWE and NXT have just bit off a bit more than they can chew with this one. It's like I think WWE, because they've been so hot recently and they're just kind of flying. Then like NXT's picked up the ratings, are like going up and up and up. They've just beat AEW Dynamite. They're just flying. And he was just like, you know what? we can make Brian Pillman Jr. a star. That's how confident they've got internally.
Yes.
And it's just
they were feeling
I don't know, man.
Yeah, spoiler cat said 2012 Tumblr, welcome to my dark twisted mind fucker. Energy, nigga. That shit's weird.
He might have like the worst male promo delivery on television right now.
You gotta hit, you gotta hit Cody's number for that.
Yeah,
after
because
blast,
if
bro.
you stand out as a bad promo on NXT, like
Yeah.
that takes some work. Because like, let's be honest, bro. Like a lot of these green talents that we're like, I'll get very like even more than most. Like I'll get very much into kind of just like watching out for like like scouting and seeing how these talents progress. The ones who have
Right.
potential, the ones who are flops and stuff like that. So you grow kind of like a. Like when someone cuts just like a basic generic green promo and the delivery is not very great, you kind of just like brush it under the carpet, because like it's just like, okay, it's like his first 5 promos he's ever cut in his career.
Mhm.
So like I said, for Pillman to stand out as like a bad promo on that show
Exactly.
is
That's what I'm
like
saying.
Jesus Christ.
I
Then
said
you
this to
throw in the
Kwame.
fact that Pillman isn't as green as most of these guys on NXT, bro. He's been
He's
wrestling for like
30.
6 years. He's been wrestling for like 6, 7 years, bro. He's not green in that sense. He's got experience, bro. Like he's been on AEW TV, he's been on MLW TV, he's been here, he's been there. He's he's not this bright green talent, even though his skill set may his skill set may display that. I don't know.
Bro, here's the thing. I told this to Kwame Monty.
Okay.
On Shawn Michaels' NXT, with all that entails and all the things that take place on this program that we're subjected to, I think he's easily like on every episode has been the worst part of the show. And I don't like it does me no joy to say this. Like I'm not even one of these people who have like a Pillman hate agenda. I'm not trying to just like shit on the guy. I'm not like rooting for his downfall. When he came to NXT, I was like, all right, good for him. Hopefully it works out, right? In these 3 weeks between his first match with Boa, that awful sit-down interview with Mackenzie Mitchell the week after, where he's just like, "Where you going, babe? Stick around or whatever," and she just walked away, and it was just like, what the fuck? And now here, where he's just like, "Trick, the twisted dark mind,
twisted dark energies. Are you sure?"
It's tough, mate.
This is like shut it down level bad. I got to be honest with you. I'm talking like, all right, let's stop this right here. Let's do something else. It's that level of bad.
Take that nigga off TV for 6 months, brother.
I would at least give him one chance to showcase himself in the ring before we completely do that. But like, I just it doesn't look good.
No, this is grounds for a repackaging. I can't cap. You can't bomb in a major storyline in the main event of a TV episode like that during a major angle. And like, yo, OVW would have took that nigga off TV immediately.
I just don't know.
Yeah, neither do I. I don't know what they're gonna figure out with him. But like I said, it seems like they've bit off more than they can chew with like presenting him like they have, like he's like this big deal, But yeah, anyway, after that, after Brian Pillman does whatever it is that he does, Trick Williams swings at him, but he ducks out the way. Trick hits Mello, and the crowd's all like oohing and ahhing. And but in the end, Trick Williams, he basically apologizes by offering Mello his hand by helping him up. The two kind of hug, and the camera just zooms in on Carmelo as he's pulling performance center faces. And yeah, that was NXT, man. Not the most eventful episode. I think the thing that went most viral from this episode was Tiffany dumping Fallon Henley out the ring and
everything.
Lexis King. Yeah, man. So that was NXT. Let's talk a few highlights on Raw because we didn't get to yesterday. Seth Rollins versus Sami Zayn. I thought this was very good. We mentioned this earlier on. Yeah, man. Of course, it was just Seth just kind of offering Sami Zayn a title shot, which is, some people will criticize that fairly. But it was what it was. And in the end,
I did like the narrative explanation for why it was happening, though. They like Seth did the whole thing where he explained that, like, you stopped Damian Priest from cashing in. You went into Pierce's office because he said you had to give the briefcase back. I appreciate that you did that for me, and so I went in the office afterwards and negotiated for a title match to happen, and you can have it whenever you want it. and then Sammy was goaded into picking tonight. So they at the very least bothered to create an explanation of some kind for why the match is happening. So
Yeah.
And it was a good match. It was a very good main event. They got a nice bit of time. They worked very much like a traditional main event match.
Yes.
It was just good. It was well paced. It was good, but the crowd really got into it towards the end. Sami Zayn again continues to be on a roll in ring. Nothing new there. Seth Rollins, of course, is very reliable in situations like this. So, good bit of business for a good main event on Raw. Got anything to add
to the main event, or just like from Raw?
Main event, yeah, just Seth Sami. Just a Seth Sami stuff.
Sami Zayn is so good.
It's nice that Sammy's a great wrestler again. Just nice.
He's awesome, man. He's awesome.
He rules.
New Day, the Raw Tag Division, one of my favorite things about wrestling at the minute, to be honest. The New Day versus Judgment Day, and also DIY versus the Creeds. Two very solid tag matches on Raw yet again. No surprise there. New Day JD as well versus JD Judgment Day was very good.
We have NXT's rating is out, and I think this is the highest demo they've. This might be the highest demo they've done of the year, not counting the John Cena show. They did a 0.26, which is
business. It's what they do, brother. That's what they do now.
Jesus Christ!
Let me see this rating.
The 0.2s, brother. That could be Dynamite this week if they ain't careful.
That's nasty.
Nah, it's not. It's a loaded card. It's a loaded card. But if it wasn't,
Dynamite's doing a point.
If it wasn't, it could be a bit. Tony would be adding to it right now.
Yeah, we're doing $1 million on CW. Yeah,
we're doing $1 million on CW.
It's over.
What were we talking about? Oh, the New Day versus a
tag matches. Yeah.
Yeah, bro, they just have a dope division right now. It's really a shame that this guy Eric is hurt, because the Viking Raiders would be a huge asset to this too. They were getting heated up, if you remember, Monty, with the New Day and some of the stuff that they were doing. They were going to do a 2 out of 3 falls match one week until Eric realized that his neck was fucked. But I think the New Day match is good. They're in this interesting stretch right now where they're past their peak in terms of relevance and usage as important characters on the show, but they've very much settled into this veteran role where they're always reliable. They can always have good matches. They can lose, but the crowd respects them because of who they are, and they're going to get cheered, and the matches are going to have heat. And so, they're in a nice spot right now, and they had a good one with the Judgment Day. And then DIY and Creeds, I thought the work was really, really dynamic. This had no fucking heat at the beginning. And one of the problems here was that even though I love both of these teams, they're not established TV acts on Raw, and they're both baby faces. And so you have these unestablished characters going at it with each other, and the fans already aren't super invested, and now they don't know who to choose. And so from that standpoint, it didn't work as a match in terms of getting heat. But the thing is, Ciampa does this every week, Monty. He just works so hard. And he has such a high motor that he gets them into it eventually, because that's just how he wrestles. And so this turned into a pretty solid match. But I definitely like them to go back to this months down the line when they're more kind of cemented on Raw. So, but yeah, the division's dope, bro. They got straight up 7 teams that are very good. So,
Rob, you a fan of the Raw Tag Division at the moment?
Yes, very much, very much. I am of the belief that both tag divisions are doing so well right now that you could literally split the tag. You can do something with both of these.
You can definitely split. Yeah, you can definitely split the belts. Definitely.
Yeah, there's no more. Oh, we desperately need to have this tag team on Raw. You can definitely split the belts so you can make a good tag division. There's no reason why the Street Profits should not be champions right now. So, yeah, Raw's tag division is doing very well. The Creeds are adding something very good. Just no more of these face versus face tag teams, because it made the Creeds look like a heel on Monday night when the Ludwig interfered. So, well, other than that,
yeah, they do need more. They do need more reliable heel teams, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. But enjoying what we got at the moment. Shinsuke versus Tozawa, as previously mentioned. Tozawa's had his working boots on this week. Only went a couple of minutes on this, but Tozawa definitely tried to push a nice pace with Shinsuke, and he was a nice couple of minutes. We had Ricochet versus The Miz versus Bronson Reed versus Ivar for the number one contender at Survivor Series for Gunther's IC title. The Miz won in a very weird finish. I'm sure you guys have already seen it if you're
Have you?
listening to this Raw review.
I
Yeah,
was
man.
Monty, did you hear about like the finish was botched?
Oh, I've heard some speculation of that, you know.
No. So Dave went on to confirm with WWE that it's a botched finish. Like there was speculation, and then he went to check and asked, and then followed up and said it was botched. And
Well, Miz was always meant to be the winner anyway.
well, so
Because I had that graphic ready to go, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
no. So they had an Ivar Miz graphic. They didn't have, the Survivor Series Gunther Miz graphic has never been posted to this point. They posted the Rhea versus the Zoe, and they posted the War Games. They have not posted Gunther's, and that's because the intended finish was supposed
no,
to
I
be
mean not on the show. I don't mean on Twitter or anything. I mean like on the
right.
show. It came up at the bottom.
What I was gonna say is the intended finish was Ivar and Miz getting a double pin. They were both supposed to, like, Ricochet wasn't supposed to kick out. So I just wonder what they're gonna do next week with Ivar and Miz. I wonder if they just find a
Wonder if
way
he
to
gets
like,
added.
excuse me?
You wonder if he gets added.
Yeah, added, or I mean, look, in my perfect scenario, he just destroys Mike and gets his spot and just has the match instead. But what I think is actually gonna happen is I think he just gets added.
You hate Mike Mizanin so much. Like I don't understand that.
It's just, you know.
Oh, I understand. I don't feel the same way, but I definitely understand it. You know, like,
Thank you.
Me is
Goddamn.
bro.
It's just like
Yeah.
It's tough, you know.
Like fucking hell, you know.
It's tough, brother. It's tough. Of course, there was a lot of talk about Ricochet potentially. He had his bell rung. I think it was a botched Rana spot or something like that.
He just hit his head on the floor when he did the run.
Yeah, I think he was. I think he was kind of rocked. So you'd hope not. You'd hope he wasn't allowed to just kind of keep going. If he was, you know, if he did pick up an actual concussion, hopefully it would just kind of, I don't know. You know, it's always weird with head injuries, isn't it? But he definitely did look a little bit ginger out there after that spot. So hope he's good. Jey Uso wished Sammy good luck for the title match, which of course, you know, he did lose, but he did say that he and Cody Rhodes have a title shot next week versus Judgment Day. So I'm sure that'll be another good Raw filler match. Becky and Nia Jax went back and forth, and there was a battle royal for the women's number one contender for Rhea's title at Survivor Series, which was won by Zoe Stark, which actually took me by surprise, to be honest. Like, I know that they like Zoe Stark, and I know that they kind of they want to keep her around on TV and establish her, but you know, Rhea Ripley at Survivor Series, that's a pretty big spot, man. You know, so
yeah, it is
good for her. Good for her, and I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, I gotta say, Monty, I'm my take on booking is just I like to see when bookers have commitment to people that they see as projects, and usually when they're committed about it and they go about it the right way. All I can really say is just hopefully it works out and hopefully it gets over. You know, it's why I like with AEW, like, you know, you guys know I'm not the biggest Kyle Fletcher fan, but I said on like one of the podcasts, I'm like, at least it seems like there is a cohesive, committed effort to continually get him in ring reps and kind of go somewhere with it. And so it's like, for me, it's like, just commit to somebody and try to make something out of it. In regards to Zoe, Hunter clearly likes this girl, right? And I do think she's talented. I don't think she's fully put together, nor is she even like that over from what I'm seeing. But the upside here is, best case scenario, she has a great match with Rhea. And best case scenario, she has a great match with Rhea, and then she comes out of it a bigger star in the division. You know?
Possible.
Yeah, so hopefully that's what happens. Hopefully that's what happens there.
No, I don't believe it's impossible. She has like literally Mandy Rose's best match of her entire title reign, because that whole title reign sucked, and she was the only one that can manage to get a good match out of her. So
yeah, man, that's what I said. No, it's definitely possible. It definitely is possible. Let's have a quick look at AEW Dynamite then, because that show is about to start in a few hours. Let me pull up the card. Of course, the big one being the world title match. But I want to talk about first. What do I want to talk about first? I want to talk about Mark Briscoe versus Joe Boy. I'm very fired up for this. I'm not most fired up for this, but I'm just happy to see Mark Briscoe again, brother. Ibi, what you think?
It's going to be a really good match. Jay White's really good. And it's nice to have Mark back, man. He's just a guy that you can't be mad at. It's always nice to see him. He's like a He's automatic goodwill, you know. And so him in singles action is always just going to be a good time. And he's actually facing somebody who's involved in something here, and it's Jay White, who's a pay-per-view challenger. So I expect this to be a fun match. Probably going to go around 11 minutes or so, something like that. And yeah, it's going to be good stuff.
Good time. Rob, you looking forward to it?
Oh, absolutely. Always looking forward to Jay Briscoe wrestling. I'm not Jay Briscoe. Fuck Jay White wrestling. My bad. Always looking forward to Mark Briscoe wrestling. You know, it's just two very good talents. I'm hopefully Max can get his fucking belt back tonight from Jay White during this match, but I don't know.
It would be. I would definitely pop to see Mark Briscoe be the person that helps Max finally get the belt back off Jay. So, you know, Max needs friends at the moment. So, you know, speaking of Max, we've got MJF versus Daniel Garcia. A lot of people happy to see this because, you know, Daniel Garcia has been not best utilised in recent months, and a lot of people are very high on him as a talent, especially online. So this is a big opportunity for him, and like I said earlier in the week, hopefully it leads into more stuff for him because you'd be disappointed if he just got this big spot and it just kind of led to nothing ultimately. But yeah, man, I'm expecting something really good here. Ibu, what approach do you think they're going to go with this one?
With which match?
MJF Daniel Garcia.
Oh, man. I think all I could say about it is I think they're going to work this in a way. Max likes Daniel as a talent, and I think he will make sure that this match is worked in a way where Garcia looks as good as he possibly can. They will absolutely, I definitely think coming out of this, people are going to be like, oh man, Garcia's for real. He's the truth. He's this and that. It's definitely going to be that type of thing. So I think you're going to have a good babyface competitive wrestling match. I think this is probably going to get a lot of time, to be honest with you.
It should.
I think it's going to be worked in a way where like they're trying to get like a 4.5 star rating. Like I think they're going to try to have like an excellent wrestling match.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Rob, Daniel Garcia's getting a shot, baby.
I hope I'm so happy that Daniel's finally getting an opportunity on AEW television. I hope this is not like a fucking eliminator where it's like the Moxley Mance Warner eliminator. We see them have a match and we never see Garcia again. No, we need to start seeing Garcia more often. Tired of seeing him competing for the Ring of Honor Pure Championship. It's time to go for some AEW gold. So.
Yeah, man. Big fan, of course, all of us are of Garcia. Samoa Joe versus Keith Lee.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Getting the big man in there. You know, everyone popped when they saw this announced on Saturday. So, Ibu, I can imagine, just from your reaction just now, that you're quite fired up for that.
This could just be okay, but it's a great match graphic, and I think the upside here is it could be fucking awesome. There's a chance this is Keith Lee's best singles match in AEW. I hope it is. They both have ridiculous aura to this day. You know, even with both sides kind of being slightly physically diminished or whatever, Joe just carries himself like a boss, and the fans still like see him as a beast. And they do with Keith Lee too, man. To this day, he gets in there and they do the bask in his glory singing and all that.
Yeah, crowd reacted when they went face to face on the show.
Yeah, there was a big gasp when they faced off on Collision. Keith Lee taught me a new word on that segment. He was like, "Joe, mighty orgulous of you to walk in front of me," or whatever. But yeah, I'm into this one. I think the show has a really good card, man. This is regarding tonight's Dynamite. Like we all know, last week's Dynamite was like extremely poorly received, and I think if nothing else, they took the major first step this week in simply, at the very least, giving you a wrestling card that wrestling fans who like AEW are going to want to see. I think tonight's show is going to have a lot of really fun matches, and this week was a good utilization of their immensely talented roster. And so just from that alone, I think that this is going to be a notable step up from last week on Dynamite. So much so that people are probably going to loudly proclaim, "We are so back." And I do think that getting great wrestling on the TV is a massive step for sure. And so I'm up for it. I'm down for it. I welcome it. I think what they should focus on, though, in the following weeks to continue this and create some consistency is this. If you guys notice, in AEW, we exist in this constant state of like, we're back, oh, we're dead, or we're back, and you know, that type of thing, right? And really, it depends on just what the card is, right? But for AEW to just kind of continue the momentum, even on shows that aren't as crazy, you have to look underneath the surface and fix that type of stuff. And for me, I think this following 2 steps after just giving us great matches on TV is number 2, try to mitigate the stuff that people don't like on these shows. A lot of that kind of WWE-esque content that needs to be dramatically toned down and scaled back like a lot. And then the bigger thing to me is I think long term, I think AEW needs to map out like broad goals for this TV. I think they should like identify a couple wrestlers that they want to resolve to get over and just kind of work towards that. And so when you pick a couple people and you do that, it re-inspires trust in the creative process from the fandom because they know that these people are being followed up on and they can believe in the creative again. And then it just leads to more cohesive weekly television in that respects. And so like even on a slow week, you're like, oh, they're still kind of working on Takeshita though, and they're still doing stuff moving this guy along. And so it's like you're not as like down on the TV because at least it's productive even when it's not explosive. But those are just things I think that AEW should kind of keep in mind.
Yeah, definitely. When you outline like goals for talent, even without directly telling your audience, it's not like obviously they're not going to be like, okay, Takeshita is going to win the title at Full Gear. Like, of course, they're not going to do something like that, But when you kind of make it clear, like I've mentioned, we've used Swerve as an example. People are invested in the rise of Swerve Strickland to the main event, so. As you just said, when you've got characters that you're actually invested in, like a lot of people are invested in Swerve, like even if the match graphics aren't hitting, at least you can be like, oh, okay, at least I get to see Swerve kind of do something. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm invested in Swerve, and I know he's going to be there, and I know he's going to be in a prominent position because they're doing X, Y, and Z with him at the moment. So it just helps investment. Which is, I think one of the main things is just building something to be actually invested in because we'll always pop for the match graphics and they'll always have it in the back pocket, but building characters that the fan base can actually believe in and invest in, whether that's heels or baby faces, it's important, investment is important. Of course, it goes without saying, and AEW absolutely can definitely get away with just and I will use the term get away because that's exactly what it is sometimes with just kind of throwing match graphics out there and they know the fan base will be happy. But it's like, it has to have substance to it. The match graphics that pop us, hopefully it would be nicer if they had some meaningful future implications, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
So, but yeah, back to kind of like previewing Dynamite as well. Speaking of another match graphic that got people popped, well, popped people, should I say. So Strickland versus Penta.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be good.
It could be really good, and it also could just be like okay. It could
I can't lie.
Okay.
You know what? Finish that book here, Monty. I got to be completely honest. I'd have this go to a DQ. I think Hangman Page should just like beat the living fucking shit out of Swerve.
Well, yeah, because it's getting fucking ridiculous now. Because Swerve was in his house with his baby, and he hasn't cut a promo on it. Swerve has wrestled on the show without any consequence. Then when Hangman was wrestling, it took Swerve coming out to Hangman to actually fire up a bit. Yeah. I've always said my favourite version of Hangman is when he's like a fired up, pissed off babyface and not a fucking pussy. So it'd be nice if he did actually address fucking Swerve breaking into his home and talking to his baby and giving it a shot,
Here's the thing about it. It's just like AR Fox on Collision was more mad about getting kicked out of the Mogul Embassy than Hangman is about this guy breaking into his home and interacting with his child. So, that's not. Hangman went out. He came to work, didn't look for this guy, didn't try to jump him, didn't try to fight him. Went on to have a trios match, and then only when Swerve was on the ramp and reminded him, like, "Hey, I broke in your house." That's when Hangman's like, "Oh, that's right, you did do that thing," and he ran out like a dopey babyface. So again, hopefully we get some real fire from Hangman. I don't think they're going to interrupt the match. I think they're just going to do the match and then they'll do something post-match. But I'd love to see some real anger, some vengeance sought from Hangman Page.
Yeah, man, it should be like the week after, or even the show. If it happened on Dynamite, which I think it should have been like on Collision or the very next Dynamite. The very next time Hangman knows he's in the same building as Swerve Strickland, whether that's a Swerve promo, a Swerve match being booked, Hangman should be like fucking gunning for him like a hitman, bro. Like, what are we doing? So the fact that it's even took this long is kind of not my favourite thing at all. But hopefully tonight that gets rectified. very much like the Young Bucks tag title situation. It's like these are things that should be like immediately addressed as soon as we, know the context of what's going on. So, as soon as the Young Bucks get a title shot, that should be addressed on the TV show by them continuously. Same thing goes with this Hangman thing with, he's with his child, man.
Mm-hmm.
What world are we living in, bro? Is that okay to do?
No, you broke into my house and we're like, you were about to abduct my kid. Like,
Yeah.
like I'd be trying to
Show some fire, man.
I try to commit crime.
What else we got on the show? Sting and Darby are wrestling the Outrunners, I think.
Yeah, they're gonna squash them, and then there'll probably be an angle with Christian Cage and those guys.
Red Velvet and Julia Hart. Red Velvet back for the first time in like has it been like a fucking year or something? Right, it's been
Like
a
7
minute.
months, something like that.
Yeah.
It's been a minute. Tony Storm and Sheeta sit down with Shivani. That could be, that could be something, people. That could definitely be something. And I think that's it. Yeah, obviously it's a very stacked card. Tony Khan obviously was very motivated seeing all the criticism last week. I think it's very fair to assume that. And, he's loaded up the card ever since. Obviously there was a lot of announcements for this Wednesday, last Saturday on Collision. And, Match Graphic Tony Khan, he's back. It's definitely a step in the right direction. I don't think it fixes everything, but as long as he stays in this Match Graphic mindset, it's like I said, a step in the right direction. So, Rob, you fired up for Dynamite or what?
Yeah, there's matches that I'm very excited to see. I'm very excited to see if Keith Lee still has it, so when he comes home, he can produce well on Monday nights. And I am excited to see the MJF Garcia match. I really want to see what they do with that. None of that fucking. I don't want no kangaroo kicks, my nigga. I want wrestling.
Oh, you're probably gonna get a kangaroo kick.
Yeah.
Sorry to break it to you, pal.
3.5.
Sorry to break it to you. Either you fired up for Dynamite, you at least more optimistic than you was coming out of last week.
I'm looking forward to a good wrestling show. I think this is just on paper. The card has a couple matches that I'm really into, so I'm looking forward to a good wrestling show. And that's really all I could ask for this week. I'm just hoping that the things that I pointed out are things that they kind of keep in mind and try to work towards in the coming weeks after, because I'm not worried about tonight. I think tonight's going to be really good. I think Garcia and Max are going to have an excellent match, to be honest with you. I think it's going to be excellent. Because Garcia, I'm that high on him as a wrestler. So it's going to be a great wrestling show. People are going to be really beating their chests over it because of how good it's going to be from that standpoint. And I look forward to that. And hopefully, again, I hope we can establish some needed consistency coming out of this TV. Yeah,
man. Fingers crossed. Obviously, we always hope every show that's good, whether it's WWE, NXT, AEW, anything that you people watch, New Japan, TNA, blah, 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 blah. It would be very nice, especially for the discourse over the past week, if AEW were able to hit a home run tonight, So, yeah, let's get into some super chats and we'll get out of here. Bud the Builder, $2 Canadian. Appreciate you as always. Why does Lola voice sound like she's crying?
Yo, relax. Not too much on Big Boy.
I'm not sure about that one. Zaid 94.99. Appreciate you as always. Bloodline fans wanting Roman to break the record is insanity. Brian is all-time favourite, but wanted Kofi to beat him because it serves his story. Yeah, that Brian. I think Brian says that that's one of his favourite achievements of his career was like that heel run to then end it by putting over Kofi in that way at Mania, But yeah, Brian's the GOAT, So not everyone has that kind of approach, and Roman's got like that big star approach now, So it's I think he'll do the right thing. At Mania. Hush 199, appreciate it. Miz equals 2022, 2023 Jericho. Take that how you will. I'm just gonna laugh.
Miz better.
Not gonna say anything incriminating. Will Chisholm, $20. Appreciate you, brother. It's going to be funny if WWE gets Julia, how social media reacts, but you can tell what type of women's wrestler she's not like the Mandy Rose type low. Yeah, she's definitely not. That had to be a Vince call to build the women's division around her. Well, yeah, NXT 2.0 era, wasn't it? So like Vince did have his creative fingerprints on it. It was like Brucey and the boys, you know. So
Vince had a mandate, and then Bruce and Laurinaitis were tasked with upholding things to his mandate.
yes,
So, yes,
there you go. So yeah, that was definitely it's not hard to assume that Vince was definitely popping for that Mandy Rose reign of dominance that she had. I mean, it wasn't. To be fair, like she did make progress in ring. You know, she didn't ever become like a good worker. You know, obviously a lot of her thing was the aesthetic. You know, it goes without saying, but um, she did make some strides, and obviously she got released, so and she seems like she's making plenty of money without stepping in the ring and taking bumps at the moment. So we'll see what happens with her. But Julia, yeah, if she goes WWE, the reaction to that on social media, I think even just from the other day, just her being linked to WWE, people's minds were melting. So you can just imagine if we get that Triple H finger point picture, Um, yeah, I'll, a lot of people will be keeping an eye on that. So March 2024, gonna be interesting. Brainbuster 199, appreciate you. Happy Daniel Garcia Day.
absolutely.
Happy DG Day to you as well, and to all the rest of the universe. Nostradam thus $5. Appreciate you. AEW is going to address why a thrown together team won the tag title 5 days after a 4-way number 1 contenders match where they didn't participate. Can't wait. That's obviously in reference to what Ibu said about the
We'll see what
AEW tag
happens.
titles. So yeah, we'll see what happens, man. See what happens tonight. Hush199, appreciate it. Any chance Paul brings back the cruiserweight title? I don't think so.
You know what?
Hope he does.
I don't think he should, but he might be tempted to.
I don't. Well, you said the super chat says any chance. Or I'll give it a small chance, but it's not something I would expect or even think is happening.
He believes in cruiserweight divisions, though.
He does, but
yeah,
still, it's another belt, isn't it? So it's like Will Chisholm $5. Appreciate you. I will give Triple H and HBK this. They are trying with Zia Lee. Do you think Triple H got Kyrie and EO talking to Stardom talent saying it's safe now?
Yes.
It's safe now. It's crazy. The water's warm.
It is a real thing, man. Johnny Gargano had to be in witness protection while Vince was kind of sniffing around,
It's safe now. I have no name. I have disposed of it. 199. Appreciate you. How and why the hell did Roman Reigns get full creative control? I think that goes
the
without
biggest
saying,
draw.
It's like,
you can get creative control like Hogan got creative control when you're the biggest draw in the industry.
Yeah, look, when was the last time the biggest star in the industry didn't have creative control? It's, we all know Cena. Cena was very much to say that doesn't work. Very much was able to say that doesn't work for me, brother. Before
oh my God,
Cena, Cena straight up said, "I am beating all of the Nexus."
Monty, I was talking to Rob last night. Of all people, Kenny Dykstra came up, and we were talking about like that guy could kind of work if you go back. And then I remembered, oh yeah, John Cena just ended his career. just ended his fucking career.
Yeah, he's a producer now in WWE, I think. So,
yep. Wonder how his interactions with John went.
Oh, I'm sure he's all over it now. He's still working in the business 20 years later.
I wouldn't be. Are you kidding me?
Oh no, man.
Hey, get good,
bro. Sometimes you just gotta fucking, At the end of the day, Kenny Dykstra, John Cena, it's.
We'll just go game is game and just accept it.
Oh, like I said, he's still in the business 20 years later. He ain't done that. He hasn't done that bad for himself. Like I know he didn't go on to have a Hall of Fame worthy career, but he's still working. He's still got a job.
You see any kids wearing Kenny Dykstra shirts?
The thing is, Monty, he smoked his career and took his girl. That's a double whammy.
Real nigga.
This is wrestling, bro. This is wrestling. You know what you want from me? Oh, come on, man. Dwight 199. Rob, Had fun last night. Hope
Yo,
it's not
Dwight,
too
come
sore.
on, bro. Yo, what is going on with these super chat? Yo, all
Yo,
right, listen,
Monty, you know what's
I'm
really
not
funny?
evil.
Monty, people found a 2018 injury status report for Dwight Howard where it said he missed the game due to gluteal soreness.
Oh nah.
I saw that.
Oh nah.
Piers 499, appreciate that. Miz is showing us why he is a top 5 wrestler of all time, greatest intercontinental champion of all time, and he isn't close. Safest worker of all time, amazing on the mark. I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinions. Caden Lee 199, appreciate you. Homie stinks. I think that's when we were talking about Lexus. Speaking of Lexus, here he is, the custodian, Lexus King 499,
Yeah.
appreciate you. Big Roll versus Lexus King WrestleMania main event. Go to sweep 1, 2, 3, and new WWE champion, the custodian, Lexus King. 100,000 people chanting my name. That's my destiny. I mean, good luck with that. Matt84 199, appreciate it. Has Wrestle Purist addressed the NWA Coke spot? Yes, we did. If you rewind about 45 minutes ago or something, I don't know. No, it was actually it was earlier than that because
Yeah,
I think
at the beginning.
we started the NXT review just before an hour. So it was definitely in the first hour. So go back. Bodybuilder, $2 Canadian. Ibu, absolutely. That was 3 minutes ago. So what was that in reference to?
I have no idea.
Appreciate you though.
You gotta let us know, Bob, in the comments. You don't have to send money for it.
This comment. Okay.
For Ibu, Mitchell Robinson's gonna baby Wemby tonight.
Hopefully, man. Hopefully. Wemby's making his debut in Madison Square Garden against the New York Knicks. Monty, this little fucking prick. You know, they always make a big deal about opposing star players going into the Garden. It's always seen as a big thing. Since Michael Jordan, you know, dropping 55 at the Garden, it's just a big thing when a star comes to the MSG, right? And they always put over the Garden, even when the Knicks aren't good, because it's a holy ground for basketball, right? They asked this guy, Monty, about MSG, like, what do you think? And he said, like, it's smaller than I thought it'd be. Go fuck yourself.
Fucking beast.
Go
Bro, Mitchell
fuck
Robinson said, yeah, it's like guarding Porzingis. It's gonna be real easy. That nigga Porzingis dropped 30 on that nigga.
Wemby tried to no-sell the Garden and act like it's not that deep, and he's just like, I'm just gonna play a game. Like, what do you want from me? You know,
Bro,
like,
why do European players love doing that though? Like they just love being like, it's not that big a deal.
This is crazy.
They don't get it.
Richard Cranium 199. I know Big Rob's a screamer.
Yo, what is going on in this super? Yo, y'all relax. What the
It's crazy.
fuck?
Anyway, let's start winding this down. Before we actually get out of it, one last plug for the Rocky Romero interview yesterday. He'd done it at the top end of the show. But yeah, man, Rocky Romero interview as part of the Wrestle Purist Worldwide show on Monday. It's Wednesday today. On Monday. So we had a great time talking with him for about 45 minutes or so, maybe an hour. We did talk to him for a while. And we said when we got off the live stream, like, we barely scratched the surface, man, because there's a lot to get into Rocky Romero, whether it's in ring or what he does behind the scenes, you know. Because in ring, he's been around for like, I think we figured out that he debuted in like '97, you know, and he's still doing it. So, of course, like I said, the big thing that a lot of the websites have took from the interview is, of course, he did kind of give what it wasn't really a Mercedes update, but it was as much as an update that he could give regarding Mercedes in the future. We talked about the partnership between AEW, CMLL, New Japan, and AAA, and all the kind of politics that goes into trying to get stuff going with them, because he's right in the middle of all that stuff. It's just a good interview, man. You know, really good. Hopefully, we can have him on again soon. He did say he would be open to it, so yeah, man. Rocky Romero, friend of the channel. Go watch the interview. Please like this video. Please make sure you like the video on the way out. I know I always say it's because we need those likes. We need to get the likes up. You know, it helps us out a lot, helps the channel out a lot. And guys, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Even if you're not logged in, and it'll take you a minute to go and log into YouTube and do what you have to do. We need you to hit that subscribe button, man. We're very close to 4K subscribers. I want us to be at 4. We need 3 more subs. We need 3 more subs for 4K. Then I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to try and get 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year, so we hit 5K going into 2024. Maybe we'll need to call MGF again. I don't know. But We're gonna try to figure it out, you know. But let's get to 4K
Monty,
first.
the ratings
We'll go
peak of
from there.
NXT, the top quarter in total viewership ended 18-49 was Braun Breaker versus Von Wagner.
Big
Yeah,
Von,
man,
nigga.
it's not super shocking.
833,000 and a 0.29.
VON. When
People,
you say the name.
people like Bron Breaker. Bron Breaker's obviously the beast, and like people pop for Von Wagner, even if it's ironically, you know. So, look at it, another one for Rob Bob the Builder, $2. Rob, it's our little secret.
Yo,
Nah,
what is
Rob,
yo,
what are you getting
is
up to, Rob?
yo, why am I being
What is
harassed
this guy on?
in the super chats? Yo, what is going on?
But yeah, man. Like I said, go watch the Rocky Romero interview on Wrestle Purist Worldwide. Like this video, subscribe right now. Get us to that 4K. Very much appreciate you guys with all the super chats as always, and appreciate you guys even if you're not sending super chats and you're just keeping the live chat active. You're watching our channel, you know, and hopefully we can keep pumping out content that you guys actually, you know, is worth your time. Just us talking crap. So yeah, man.
Like
Appreciate all you guys for tapping in as always. Like, subscribe. Thanks again for the super chats. And we will be back later on Twitch for the AEW Dynamite watch along. Then tomorrow for the AEW Dynamite AEW Dynamite review on YouTube with myself, AO, Charlie. Yeah, man. So until then, we'll see you next time. And peace.